Today we are going to talk about hip and thigh pain, specifically pain coming from tendon problems. So we're going to talk about the difference between tendinitis and tendinosis. Everybody's heard of hamstring tendinitis, but not many people have heard of osis. We're going to show you a great trick that will help you diagnose yourself between tendinitis, tendinosis, and we're going to talk about how we fix it. So if you've got pain here, this video is specifically for you, but if you think you've got a tendon problem anywhere in the body, this stuff applies. Stick around. Hey everyone, this is Dr. House with Cumberland Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. Like I said, we're going to talk about tendon problems, specifically of the hip and the thigh. Two common spots that these tendon problems will come up: the psoas tendon or the hamstring tendon, one that attaches at your sit bone and goes all the way down to your knee. Now, so let's talk about psoas. Psoas runs from the top of your low back, runs down to the inside of your thigh, kind of right in that crease of your groin. This pain would come on when you go to straighten your leg out and reach back. So when you're walking and you take a longer stride, you really got that leg backwards, if it feels like it really is kind of a nasty feeling in that groin, or even kind of a pinchy feeling in that groin when you bring knee up toward chest, you could have this tendon problem. Hamstring. So when you're going to use that hamstring, as soon as your heel hits every strike during your gait, if your pain is right at your sit bone, good sign, that's a tendon problem at your hamstring. The pain's gonna be right at your sit bone, like I said, so it could even be that you feel it every time you sit. It's like you're sitting on something that feels painful. Those are hamstring problems usually. Now, one big important thing to know is that tendinitis and tendinosis, everybody's heard of tendinitis. Those are kind of separate roads of the same area of pain. So if you had a tendinitis, it would love ice because it's an inflammatory problem. So a great thing you could do before you ever come in here to see us, all right, because you're probably gonna need us if it gets to that tendon problem that's kind of wearing out your day. But before you ever come see us, let's diagnose yourself kind of. If you will take, so if my pain's at my sit bone, if you will take an ice pack and you will put it between your skin, a piece of cloth like your pants, and then an ice pack, good compression right on, 15 solid minutes. So if you go all the way to the numb stage and it feels better, you probably got a tendinitis because it's got inflammation all over it. If it makes you feel worse, you've probably got a tendinosis, and that would be super helpful information because it'll get us treating you more appropriately faster. All right, so I've got our guy thrown over my back here. So just to orient you, this is his low back, this is his pelvis, this is left hip, this is right hip. He's facing me, okay? So on his back side, attached to his sit bone, is his hamstring, okay? So this is a good usable hamstring, stretches all along that hamstring. He's got pain here, and smart, he checked to see if ice helped him. Ice made him feel terrible. He has a hamstring tendinosis, okay? So the question will be, what caused it? A lot of times people always want to know that with us. And our answer is typically wear and tear causes scar tissue, which acts like Velcro, and Velcro hurts when you use it, okay? So let's just say he got an old injury, pulled his hamstring 2/3 of the way up, and the adjacent tissue, his adductor group, is now Velcroed, remember that analogy, is Velcroed to the upper 2/3 of his hamstring, right? So instead of being able to contract the whole hamstring, this guy only has the upper 1/3 of his hamstring. So instead of nice, stretchy, shared load, we've got 1/3 doing all the work. The body finds a weak spot. Weak spot is commonly the tendon, okay? So we got this weak spot tendon that has formed this nasty injury. It's scarred, okay? Much like a scar you get after cut, surgery, whatever. So we know what caused it. How do we fix it? Well, we got two routes we have to go to fix this guy. Number one, I've got to get rid of this Velcro down here, okay? If his hamstring is stuck to his adductor, I've got to find kind of a motion that helps me get those two muscles apart, and then I use my finger to peel apart that Velcro. Doesn't sound that comfortable, and it's not, but it is remarkably amazing at getting that range of motion, that freedom back to the full 3/3 of the hamstring, right? So next up, we've got this victim to deal with. We've got this big scarred tendon at the hip. Research shows that with osis, you actually have to create kind of an inflammatory response. You have to kind of break down that nasty scar that's in there, that's hard, and that we feel, and that you'll feel. We use an instrument to kind of scratch through, kind of work through that tendon. We use our fingers to kind of break down with repetitive strokes on that thing. We've got some percussion instruments that we kind of on this thing. We've got a class 4 laser. We've got tape that lifts tissue, just all kinds of mechanisms in order to get this tendon healed. If you're struggling with this kind of situation, I want you to do the ice thing, check and see if it helps you or not. Give us that answer. Come on in, let us help you. This is one that probably is not going to go away on its own. If you like this video, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody that needs it, share it with the world. If you think it's share worthy, put it on your timeline, something like that. You got a question, something that didn't make sense about what we talked about, put it below. This has been Dr. Ryan House with Cumberland Chiropractic and Sports Medicine, where we get you better faster.